I have to give a huge thanks to EA for allowing me to capture this gameplay of College Football 25 early and bringing it to you on my YouTube channel. This version is still a work in progress, so you'll see the beta tag bounce around the screen throughout the video. But I have decided to bring you an episode of Dynasty before the game comes out, and I decided to pick IU just because I do live in Indiana and some of my family are Hoosier fans. So I decided I would come over here and see what they were all about. Custom conferences, you know that's vital, especially if you're doing like an online dynasty. Everyone wants to be in the same conference. Now over here, the team builder, they were letting us know that we can swap out up to 16 teams. And in order to add those teams, you have to go to the download center on the main menu. Now it's actually time to go through and choose the team that you want to use here in Dynasty mode. And you've already seen that I chose IU, so I'm going to go up there and make sure that I select them right now. So once you have your team selected, then you have to choose your role. And of course, you know you can do head coach, offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator. And I want to go in and be head coach to start this thing off. And then you could go with the current coach, or you can create your own, and that is where you have your backstory. Now, are you going to be a motivator, a recruiter, or a tactician? Each one of these backstories will have benefits. For example, recruiter, it's letting us know that we will be able to scout faster and recruit better than any other type of coach. Or if you want to be a tactician, boost your players' ratings on game day. So for me, I want to go the recruiting route. So I am going to select that for this video. Now, when I get on the real game, I plan on still creating North Carolina A&T State University. That's the school that I actually went to, so I'm going to hop on that team builder and go in. When you're creating your coach, you see you have everything from first and last name, the playbook type, even the pipeline. So I'm going to focus on South Florida. I know they have a lot of speed down there, and I want to build a really fast team. Now, when you're selecting the head for your coach, look at this dude. They have like 520 different ones that you can go through. I was trying to find one that looked kind of like me. They have physique, which is just height and weight. And then you can go over to coach apparel, and you can change between the polo shirt or this cool little jacket they have. So I want to rock the jacket, look kind of swagged out there on the sideline. So once we have that figured out, they are going to load us onto this screen and show our contract, which is going to be a 3-year deal. So we have to make sure we come out here and turn this program all the way around in that amount of time. So now we're on the menu here in Dynasty. I'm going to go to upgrade coach skills so you'll be able to see how this stuff works. So since I ended up picking recruiter, that category is already unlocked. And when I actually go into the recruiting abilities, the first tier that I'm able to unlock will cost me 5 coach points each. And you see, for example, quarterback, it says it'll take less time to fully scout. And each one of these has a different tier going from 1 all the way down to tier 4. And once you get to a certain point, you're able to unlock elite recruiter. And then the same thing goes for the other categories like talent developer, tactician, etc. You're able to go through these and unlock more abilities as you become a better coach. Now, program builder, to even unlock this category, it says you have to win 5 playoff games and spend 75 coach points in any tree. And if you unlock this, of course, you're going to get way better abilities, as you see over there to the side. And then finally, CEO, to even crack this category open, you have to win at least 2 national championships and spend 100 coach points in any tree. But you see over there to the side, the abilities that you get for this are going to be absolutely game changing. For example, a chance at an instant commit when offering scholarship as their top school. So you have a chance to get someone to commit right away just based on you being a CEO if you unlock that ability. Your coordinators are also going to have abilities that will help you along the way too. My OC already has some recruiting abilities equipped, and then if I go check out my defensive coordinator, he had some abilities unlocked in recruiting and motivator, so I'm happy about that. Moving on to custom schedules, you know I always like to schedule a big team to start the season off, and I was coming over here trying to figure out exactly who I wanted to play. You know I like to start off with a bang and try to knock off a huge team. So I'm looking at Georgia. We're going to try to go on the road in that game. You can actually select home or away as well. You see at Georgia is going to be our first game. But now it's time to get into the recruiting. We don't have anybody on our board yet, but then you see the prospect list, transfer portal, which we cannot use at the moment. Now over to my school. This is where you find out everything you need to know about your team, whether it's the play style, if you're a championship contender, and each one of these categories, it is going to tell you what you can do to improve that grade that they have on it currently. So pro potential, it says down there at the bottom, if we produce projected first and second round picks, it will impact the grade of this part of our school. You know what I mean? So pretty cool stuff when it comes to all of this as well. I do believe that some of these do change from week to week, depending on if you do hit some of those milestones on ways to improve. Now it is finally time to populate our recruiting board. Now for me, when I'm recruiting, I normally start off by seeing which players have the most interest in my school, and then I kind of sort it by the rating. Over to the right side, you can see the height, weight, position, tendency, everything you need to know about the player that you're about to add to your recruiting board. And I see this dude Novak, a 4-star recruit, has our school as number 7 on his list. So now I am going about adding these dudes to my recruiting board. I'm sorting it now based on them having me as their top school, and there are some 3-star players up here, so I am going to go about adding most of these guys to my board, and then we're going to try to see if we're able to actually recruit them and get them to commit to IU. So we had it on the recommended tab. You can switch it over to top prospects. Some of these recruits are already hitting us with a deal breaker. For example, Marcus Waiters, his deal breaker is proximity to home. There's absolutely nothing that we can do about that. We're all the way in Indiana, and he is from Texas. And proximity to home is one of those categories that you are unable to improve. So next off, we're checking out the prospects that we have added to our board. And it has the overview, the recruiting, and the scouting as we take a look at these. So starting off, you have to go over to the little recruiting tab underneath a player, and it says we can offer them a scholarship. Now at the top, of course, you see your targets. They have the hours and the scholarships that you have left. And we are ready to go ahead and offer some of these out to these prospects that we added to our board. Some players that you offer a scholarship to will give you a verbal commit right away, so we're happy about that. Now that does not mean that they are 100% going to come to our school, but for right now we have him locked up and he wants to come to IU. We also got a receiver to verbally commit right away as well. So now it's time to go into scouting, and when you're going about scouting a player, you are going to be using up your hours. It costs 10 to scout a player if you do have some of those abilities. Oh, look, we're finding a gem. So Amari Keys might actually be better than we think he is. It says he's a 3-star, but he could actually be a 4-star. So I was going to go about scouting a few other players. Ooh, man. This dude right here might be a bust. So you can either find a gem or a bust when you're going out here recruiting these players. Now keep in mind, if you find a player that comes up as a bust, that doesn't mean they're going to be terrible out there on the field. They could still be a beast, but they might not just be as good as everyone thought they would be. You know what I mean? So I was going through using up my hours, trying to get this scouting in and offering scholarships, seeing who's potentially a gem or a bust. I'm actually going to find another one right here. We're going to have to keep flipping on our board. But then I'm going to advance the week and see if we can get some more recruiting in. Now, when I do that, it is going to show me the status of the players that we are targeting on our recruiting board. And some of these players have already narrowed their schools down to top 8. Each prospect will be moving at a different pace. You'll see some already have their top 5, some are still in their top 8. And when you go from week to week, you can see the progress that you have had based on the overview. So now we're actually able to add an action and continue trying to recruit these prospects. So for me, I want to send the house for this quarterback because he is a 3-star, a scrambler, and we already know that he's potentially better than everybody thinks he is because he has that gem beside his name. So I'm going to spend 50 hours, which is the maximum that I can spend on a player at the moment, and we are going to send the house to try to get him to come to IU. When a prospect has you in their top 5, that is when you're able to use one of these pitches. You see, you can sway, soft sell, or hard sell a player to a 10-year school. Now I was going through adding these hours to other prospects, sending the house, contacting friends and family, sending DMs, doing everything I can to make sure they keep IU in mind when they're making their decision. Now this dude that ended up being a little bust, I'm just gonna DM him, bruh. I don't know if I want to spend 50 hours on a player that might not be as good as I thought they would be, you know? So I'm going about scouting a few more players because I realized I did have more hours than I thought. But believe me, those hours will start to disappear really quickly, and you're going to be finding yourself trying to figure out what you really want to do. Now, if you want to remove an action from a player, all you do is hold down that Y button. It'll be triangle on PlayStation. It'll take away that action and you'll get those hours back to use on another player. If you want to remove a player completely from your board, just hover over them and hold down that Y button and it'll take them completely off. So I ended up sorting my prospects by the interest that they have in my team, and I'm scrolling all the way down, feeling pretty good about what I have so far. So I'm going to go into this very first game that we have against Georgia on the road. I am going to be playing this on All-American. I know Heisman's going to be pretty crazy, especially for a team like Georgia. But let's get it! The sights and sounds looking and sounding amazing here on College Football 25. So it looks like I am going to be kicking the ball off first. In the play call menu, they're going to give you information at the top right. And on the top left, you will always see some type of video footage playing, all right? So moving on to the kickoff, this is my first time actually using the kick meter because you know in my Road to Glory series, I was playing corner and I was only controlling my player on the defensive side of the ball. So all of this is going to be new to me, playing on offense. I really have not even touched an offensive possession since I've been on College Football 25. But we are going to be starting off on defense. And I know this stadium is going to be rocking throughout this game. We cannot let Georgia come out and get a lead on us, because if they do, man, the composure of our team might just break completely down. They were showing an impact player right there within the play call menu. You see, you can mess around with the camera a little bit if you want to, but now it's our job to try to get these stops out here on defense. They're trying to throw the ball into the flats, and we are coming up making the tackle before he could get the first down. Now with a 3rd and 5, quarterback drop back though. He's got a little bit of time. He's going to go down with the sack. He did not get rid of the ball in time. And we are forcing the Georgia Bulldogs to have to punt on their first drive of the game. So, of course, you know I'm back here trying to do something with it. I would love to take this thing all the way back on my first punt return, but we're getting taken down. Our offense is ready to come out on the field. And I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I was a little bit nervous to see how this Georgia crowd was going to react And like I said before, this is my first time playing offense on College Football 25, and I'm looking at my plays. I'm like, oh boy, I can barely see what's going on. Some of the routes aren't showing up. They keep on switching and changing. I can't call any audibles, and I'm just going to hand the ball off right here, and we're not really going much of anywhere. Now we have a 2nd and 10. Look at this dude. Every time I go into the coach cam, the play is looking different. When I'm trying to call a hot route, only 2 receivers were popping up. So my quarterback definitely needs some mental abilities. It feels like he doesn't have anything going on right now, but we're still going to find our receiver over the middle and get a first down. We are going to have to find a way to settle this crowd down a little bit so we'll be able to come out here and run the offense the way that we want to. I'm already liking this number 4 dude, bro. Who is this right here? We are trying to find him, and now we're running that thing right up the middle. Getting the touchdown. Already doing our thing out here. The IU fight song is playing in the background. Yes, of course, you can choose the celebration that you want to pull off. If you go over to the start menu, you can see the list of the ones that are for touchdown, first down, and interception. That night one that I did is going to be left on the right stick plus RT at the same time. It's called Put 'em to Sleep. So I've already memorized some of those, like Tiger Swag, up on the right stick and LT at the same time. If you get an interception, if you hit down on the right stick, that's the strap celebration. So some of those I know just from going through Road to Glory and playing so many hours of that bad boy. I was able to become familiar with some of those celebrations. So you see they had that play where someone went in motion. I'm always on top of that dude. If they want to throw that thing into the flats, you already know I'm going to try to take a pick 6. So let's see what we can do on defense. Trevor Etienne is around the corner, and he gets a huge gain on the play. We are lucky that we even stopped him right there, dude. The Georgia Bulldogs are trying to score on this drive. We are knocking it away on 3rd down. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And if you hit up on the right thumbstick, you see I'm messing around with the crowd, trying to get everyone fired up or trying to get them to boo me, one or the other. Georgia gets the field goal, their first points of the game. They have the fight song playing. They have the dog out there on the field. Crazy stuff that we are seeing here on College Football 25. And I am ready to get the ball back and see if we can come out and do the same thing that we did on our first drive and come out and get some more points on the board. So, of course, the stadium is still rocking. I'm dropping back trying to get rid of it, but there is a flag down on the play.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the end of the first quarter, and we do have the lead. We ended up getting bailed out on that last play. The pass interference. So we are going to keep our drive going. We do have a 2nd and 5. I'm trying to get a nice balance of pass and run. And check out this environment on a 3rd down. This stuff is so intimidating. I had no idea what play I wanted to call. The band is going crazy. The crowd is loud as all. Look, I have no idea what I'm doing, dude. The play art is all messed up. Half of my icons are not even showing. And I'm going to hit him with the play action and take off running up the middle with my quarterback. Sliding down and getting the first. They did not expect him to take off running, and we keep it on the ground, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling for the first down. The weather is looking crazy out here. The crowd has calmed down a little bit. Look at the stadium post at the top. But my composure is still all jacked up. I'm dropping back to the end zone. Cut that music off! You better not have been singing the user. Man, the Georgia Bulldogs got us on that one. I could not handle the pressure of the crowd, all the noise. And now let's see if they're able to do anything. Look, I'm diving for the quarterback and getting the sack. I ended up calling a timeout, so we'll have another opportunity to try to score before halftime. I got this boy Price back on the return. I think he was like one of the fastest players on our team with like 94 speed. So I had to make sure that oh my gosh, they're in the backfield taking us down. 2nd and 13. I'm dropping back, looking for Price. He's open and he's using his speed. Breaking away from the defense. Getting in there for the score. I told y'all I still had to hit that Tiger swag, and when you look at that, something was up with my kick. My kicker must not have any composure or something, dude, because the meter was moving all funny, and I ended up missing that one. And we do have the ball with 30 seconds left in the half. I'm trying to see if I can get lucky and throw this thing deep and get another score before we go into the locker room. Step it up!
QJB, you're terrible.
You have got to be kidding! I thought I could float that one over the defender's head, but he ended up getting the pick. You hear the crowd was chanting and everything. That is going to take us to halftime with a 13-3 lead on the road, playing the Georgia Bulldogs, who are ranked number 1. They have been kind of slacking on offense, as you see. And we are coming out with the ball, dropping back, and sacked in the backfield. 3rd and 14. Is there any way we're going to be able to get this? Let's find out. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. I'm not even sure what the real routes are and what the fake routes are. I thought RB was going to keep on running, and I floated it up. I am lucky that one was not picked off. But we have to give the ball back to Georgia anyway. And they're trying to run a screen. Look at that boy ETN breaking tackles. Georgia trying to get something going here. I had a feeling this might be the drive. That they get in the end zone. Look at those moves. And in the play call menu, up at the top, you can see the abilities of Trevor Etienne. Yeah, he got that 360. We saw them spin moves, dude. Sidestep. So I am worried about him out here on the field. I know they're going to keep on giving it to him. Look at him right here. Breaking another tackle. And Georgia is in the red zone, trying to go ahead and punch it in with another run, and they get it. Etienne is dominating now. Cannot get comfortable at all here on College Football 25. All it takes is a couple plays and your opponent can be right back in it. Now I'm on this kickoff return trying to do something, cutting it right up the middle of the field, then using my speed. It looks like I'm not gonna get caught, taking the kickoff all the way back for the touchdown. crowd is chanting, block that kick. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Hey, I saw that one hard. The kicking does get a little difficult based on the crowd, the composure of your kicker, all of that good stuff. And now sing it with me. The user, 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 taking that thing all the way back for the pick six. When you look at IU out here, absolutely doing our thing, and I wanted to come out and try to fake this field goal attempt. Look at me flipping it over my shoulder. If I would have got rid of it a little bit quicker, I probably would have completed that. As I was trying to change my tempo, I noticed they have turbo now. This is where you try to snap the ball as fast as possible, and you see the pros and cons for every coaching adjustment that you make over here on College Football 25. So they have chew clock, normal, no huddle, and turbo. I am going to put it on chew clock, but now I'm actually going to do a fake punt and see if I can pull off anything crazy right here. It's not going to matter. You want to know why? We're going to walk out of here with a W. Winning on the road against the #1 team, Georgia Bulldogs. The Hoosiers have impressed me by their performance in this first game, so I could not be any happier. You see my boy Doss as the player of the game, and I am going to go check on my prospects to see how my recruits are doing and see if we are any closer to having anyone else verbally commit. So we are going to get the news on our prospects after we advance the week. So I feel like some of these have narrowed their schools down to top 5. But as far as my coach abilities, I ended up earning 30 coach points after that game. And since I'm in that recruiting tree, I'm unlocking a few of these to make my recruiting go a little smoother when I'm scouting these players. So one of the last things I wanted to show you was when a player is ready to visit. So we're going down our list of prospects. I land on this dude that's actually a gem as well, and he's ready to visit. So you have to click on which game that you want to invite him to. And of course you have to pick this activity that you're going to focus on while they are at your school. Each player has motivations, and obviously we're going to pick one that we are excelling at. So either coach prestige or athletic facilities. I ended up choosing the facilities. So that is going to be all for this Dynasty video. Once again, big thanks to EA for allowing me to capture this gameplay early. Make sure to drop a like and sub if you haven't, and I'll be back with some more College Football 25 soon. Take me out of here, Siri!
That's nasty. Peace.